So for the next instance, it says you need to create a folder, a file with permissions. This will come later after the question 2.2 because you have to create local users, user accounts that have access to these PCs. Then you can create group level permissions and map the shared collaboration folder to a drive letter called M. So remember, we've created an extra VHD which can actually serve this purpose, but now we're going to try to enable configure the TCP IP network aspect of this work and what is expected of you. So we're not going to touch upon using system utilities. These are quite direct questions that you can go through. There are slides on this already. We've discussed them in class. Disk fragmentation, and you can set the date and the month and the information that you need here. So let's get down to the business. So remember, we created two internal switches for PC1 and PC2. So we're going to use those internal switches. We're going to configure them to communicate with each other, which is very important. We're going to use the information here to do the work. So as the instruction says here. And furthermore, you have to use the hostname command to display the computer's names of each computers. Use the ipconfig utility to display the IP addresses. Use the ping utility to communicate between the two computers, and so also to test the communication between the two computers and print out each other's computer routing table. But first, let us configure the PC1 with this information. So my internet keeps going in and out, so do bear with me. Let me drag this a little bit here. So while we're on PC1, right? On PC1, what we want to do right now is to ensure that our PC is configured to be able to share files and folders. I don't know why this is not okay. So the first thing you have to do is come into this space, the lower right corner of your interface, where you see my cursor revolving. Please bear with me. This internet connectivity is going in and out. Right click on the computer icon and open your network and internet setting center. So you'd find this network and internet and open the Ethernet. Click on it once. And first, I would like for you to check your network. We need it to be on private. You click on the network. If you do not put it on private, you won't be able to share files and folders or communicate over a network. So remember, we're using the internal switch. Check this also. It's just an unidentified network. This is our internet, our internal network. So we're going back. Now that we've ensured that our default switch is on, our switch is on private. We're not on a public network. Next, we have to change our network adapter options. This is where we have to configure the information and open your Ethernet 2. This is a private network which has a student internal switch. You can double click on it, let it open. You can see some of the details here, no network access, but this is not what we need. We need the properties. So click on properties. So do bear with me as this computer goes in and out. If you click on properties, the next thing we want to do is manually configure our IPv4. Double click on this, and you notice that I've already configured mine. So according to your instruction here, it says the IPv4 should be 192.168.10.10. Then the subnet mask is already there. So I have mine already configured. So all you have to do is change it from obtain an address automatically. You need to tick this option and manually input the instructed configuration for your IPv4 as seen here. This is what you have to put in here, and you click OK. So once you do that, you come into the second option which says IPv6. You open it also, just as the instruction states here, 2001:ABCD::1. You have to input the IPv6 address type. You have to input it here. Then the subnet prefix length is 64. So you're not going to put /64. No, this is the way you write it. Type it in here, and you click OK also, and you click OK. So that is how you configure PC1. So I'm going to show you how you're going to configure PC2 also, because this is just one aspect of the configuration. So now let's go back to network and internet. Now we need to enable file sharing. So open the network and sharing center. Click on this network and sharing center. So if you click on your network and sharing center, we need to enable sharing between these PCs. So you need to configure it on both PCs. So click on change sharing options for different network profiles. Ensure that everything is turned on in here. So for all networks, just a second, for all networks, you click turn on, use enable turn on password protecting and sharing. Click on public, guest or public, select the drop down, ensure that this is turned on, turn this on. For the private, turn this on and turn this on. Then you save your changes so that each PC can see the other PC over the network. So once you do this on PC1, we need to configure PC2 to be able to communicate with PC1. Okay, so we're going to switch off PC1, then go to PC2 to get it done, or just minimize PC1. So this is just for PC1.